Okay, let me know.
Oh, Mike, get
No,
on.
Mike.
Everyone, our microphones are inoperable tonight, so can we ask that you move forward so that you can hear us? Unfortunately, our microphones are not working. We have one?
Should work.
We have one working microphone. Yay, us.
Go Shanta. Yeah, well, you're the one reading the most, so you can do it. It's not on page. Let's see. I'm trying to remember.
Okay, we are.
Okay, so I'll say good evening to those in the assembly as well as those online. If you did not hear me, we are having issues with our audio in person. So please bear with us online as well as in person. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Neptune Township Board of Education meeting. This is an open public meeting of the Neptune Township Board of Education. In accordance with Chapter 231, Public Law of 1975, adequate advance written notice of the meeting was made by posting the schedule of meetings in the main floor lobby of the Board of Education administrative offices and by delivery to the Asbury Park Press, the Coaster, and the Neptune Township Municipal Clerk. Advance electronic notice can be made on the district's website, consistent with bylaw 0164.6. In order to abide by the Open Public Meetings Act, Board of Education meetings members may use their digital devices to follow the agenda, report out from meetings, and to view agenda background materials, but not to communicate with each other or anyone outside of the meeting. Fire exits are located in the direction indicated. In case of fire, you will be signaled by bell and/or public address system. If so alerted, please move in a calm, orderly fashion to the nearest exit. Postings have been placed on the bulletin board for everyone's use. Please do not remove these postings. You may obtain free copies of these documents from the district website or purchase copies by writing the Board of Education office. During public session of this meeting, parties having comment are requested to address the president. The public is advised that in accordance with bylaw 0168, an unofficial audio recording of this meeting is being made. Pursuant to state statute NJSA 26:3D17 and Neptune Township Board of Education Policy Regulation 7434, no smoking is permitted on Board of Education property. As a reminder, Neptune Township School District is a community for all learners where we value opportunity, diversity, and accountability. Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris? Ms. Hoffman?
Here.
Mr. Hubbard?
Excuse.
Ms. Jones?
Here.
Ms. Morgan?
Here.
Ms. Perrier?
Here.
Ms. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. West?
Here.
Ms. Jackson?
Here.
Madam President?
Thank you. Please also note administration that is present. At this time, we invite everyone to join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Please also join me in standing to salute our flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We had a stereo today.
Yes, they did good.
Okay, so again, welcome everyone. We will move to our student government remarks by Ms. Rosie Cole, and we'll pass her the microphone so she can be heard.
Thank you.
All right. So to start us off, our art student of the month is Leo Fallhaber for chorus. Our athletes of the month are Gianna Flurgis for gymnastics and Malachi Matson for football. And our writer of the month is Michael Flynn. Our ROTC cadets of the month are Cadet Leonardo Garcia, Pauline Lorano, and Stash Uvi Marillius. Sorry. Our students of the month for freshmen, Alexis Browning, sophomore Wolfie Augustin, junior Melissa D'Oliveira, and our senior Tyler Bowman. For our sports update, football advanced to the semifinal round of the state sectional tournament and won their division, which is D North. Girls soccer advanced to the semifinal round of the state sectional tournament for the first time in school history and was a co-division champ. The winter season has begun and all teams are practicing and are having tryouts. The first swim meet will take place on December 2nd. The first home girls basketball game is December 17th. The first home boys basketball game is December 20th, and the first home wrestling match is January 6th. The first bowling match took place this past Monday. In other news, members of the ROTC Color Guard presented the colors at the following Veterans Day events: the Asbury Rotary Club Veterans Day celebration, Neptune Veterans Memorial Veterans Day event, and the Cedar Village Veterans Day celebration on November 6th. They also assisted at the Monmouth University Veterans Day celebration, where Chief Tate spoke at the event. Members of the ROTC also participated in the JROTC Leadership and Academic Bowl Level 1 and competed in the Kingsway Regional High School NJROTC drill competition, where they placed in every single category. The fall play was held last week. The performances were wonderful and it was a great show. Auditions for the spring musical will be held soon. And the peer leaders held a workshop for freshman classes this past week.
Thank you.
Thank you again. At this time, we will have our showcase by Gables Elementary School. We'll turn it over to Principal Thompson. Looks like the safety patrol is here.
I don't.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Crater, Dr. Messina, Madam President, and members of the Board of Education. We are very happy to present the Gables Safety Patrols under the direction of Ms. Katie McNamee, our new guidance counselor for this year. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ms. McNamee, and I am the school counselor at Gables Elementary. It is my absolute privilege to introduce some of our dedicated safety patrol members this evening. Each of our safeties, as we call them, were thoughtfully selected through a formal application process. Students were invited to apply by teacher recommendation and then submitted an application that included 3 additional staff recommendations, as well as a written essay explaining why they believed they would excel in this leadership role. Now that they've been serving for over a month, I asked them to revisit what they originally wrote and reflect on their role and reflect on how their role has impacted them both inside and outside of the classroom. As our safeties present this evening, you'll notice a slideshow running behind them. It includes photos of our patrol members stationed at their posts throughout the school day. You'll also see highlights from our very first assignment as safeties, which was to write encouraging messages at one of our school building entrances for students and families to see at the end of the day. And with that, it is my pleasure to welcome our Gables Safety Patrol. Let's give them a warm round of applause.
Hi, my name is Ariana Muller, and I am a 5th grade safety patrol at Gables School. As part of being a safety, I think it is important to be nice and be calm when students are arguing and are being loud in hallways. But being a safety patrol is fun, and I'm so grateful to be a part of Gables community as a safety patrol.
Hi, my name is Zoe Johnson. I'm a 5th grade safety patrol at Gables School in Neptune Township School District. To me, being a safety patrol means to be responsible, and it also is more than just making sure students aren't running in the hallways. It's being trust to watch if people are doing the right thing and what they are supposed to do. As a safety patrol, I think it's important to follow the rules and be respectful and responsible. Being a safety patrol at Gables School is a huge honor to me.
Hi, my name is Clara Medina, and I'm a 5th grade of the safety patrol at Gables School. To me, being a part of the safety patrol means to help people and to be kind. When I see kids running in the hallway, I always remind them to walk. I'm so proud to be a Gables safety patrol.
Hi, my name is Kimani Lynch, and I am a 5th grade safety patrol at Gables School. To me, being a part
of the safety patrol means that you have to be responsible and do all your homework. As a part of the safety patrol, I think it is important to help the other grade level and help kids with their homework and aftercare if they're needed. Being a Gable Safety Patroller is all about being helpful, kind, and helping to keep the school safe.
Hi, my name is Tracy Washington, and I'm a 5th grade safety patrol at Gable School. To me, being a safety patrol means that you have to be respectful. Being respectful means that you have to listen to all the staff in the school and your parents. Also, being respectful helps me be responsible at home. And kids can be respectful by listening to what their teachers are saying in school. On the other hand, if kids don't do this, they won't know something bad is happening, or if the kids are being loud, the teacher wouldn't be able to hear their announcements. In conclusion, this is why I think being a safety patrol means that you have to be responsible and respectful.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Dominic, and I am a 5th grade safety patrol at Gable School. My safety patrol post is in the kindergarten hallway. My favorite subject in school is music. Something I like to do is coloring and like to write my own stories sometimes. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a safety patroller, and I'm so glad I have been able to achieve my dream. To me, being a safety patrol means being kind inside and outside of the classroom, making sure I always follow the rules and caring about others' safety. I also think when your safety belt will tie and never starting violence is what a safety patrol is about. Therefore, I show safety patrol behavior by being respectful to the classroom and school rules and giving comfort to others. This is how I became safety patrol.
Hi, my name is Bryden Collins, and I am a 5th grade safety patrol at Gable School. Being a safety patrol is all about helping students be safe and doing the right thing. It's also about helping people out and watching over the kids. To me, being a part of a safety patrol means showing the younger students how to do the right thing, which each day that passes, confidence develops more and more because it is a hard job. Sometimes students won't listen to you, but then you can just tell the teacher, I am so happy to be a part of the Gable Safety Patrol.
Hello, my name is Sekou Reza Ward, and I am a 5th grade Gable Safety Patrol. In my humble opinion, I think that what it means to be a safety patrol is to just be kind and passionate and to care about your school, friends, and teachers. I think this because when you do all of these, it makes you feel good. And everyone likes to feel good, right?
Yes.
For example, to just be kind, being kind can have a positive effect on the person you are being kind to and also to yourself, including. This can fill your bucket. Maybe you can fill it for context if you haven't. Like I have stated before, everybody likes to feel good. That's why I think being kind is a part of what it means to be a safety patrol. Another one of my reasons is being compassionate to your friends, teacher, and school. And I think that being compassionate means having empathy and respect for the school, the building, and most of all to your friends. I think that's because it is a part of the job. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here.
Hi, my name is Joy Austin, and I am a 5th grade safety patrol at Gable School. What being a safety means to me is helping to keep my school safe. I am helpful to new kids and make sure they are safe and comfortable. When they come to Gables, I wear my safety patrol belt proudly because I am honest and truthful. I help students come into the school by holding the door open for them. I want students to feel safe and comfortable at school just like I do.
And we are so happy that we have proud safety patrols here at Gables. Thank you, everyone.
Great job
Good job,
by our
fifth graders.
Gables Elementary students.
Right behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Scooting in. Dark.
I didn't think over here.
Oh.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Sit in the dark. And then
At this time, we will have our superintendent's report by Dr. Crater.
Thank you, Madam President. We have some good news to celebrate. Our high school juniors PSAT scores came in. 229 juniors were tested. Of those 229, 42 students scored 1,000 or higher. 125 met graduation requirements in ELA or writing. 83 met graduation requirements in math, and 2 scored 1320. So congratulations to our juniors. Members of the board, I did send you today the report that I mentioned last night on the flawed school funding formula written by author Bruce Baker. So please take a look at that. If members of the public would like to access that, just Google Bruce Baker or Mark Weber and school funding formula. Talks about future ways that funding can improve and that the state can help to rectify an out-of-date weighting system. Rosie mentioned the Songs for a New World, the play. I saw board members there, wonderful play. Congratulations to that staff. The college fair was wonderful also. I wanted to mention that we have a middle school student, Ami Theopolis Terrell, I hope I'm saying that correctly, auditioned and made All Shore Intermediate Band for his 3rd year, so that's a reason to celebrate. I did want to mention that we continue to keep the budget task force and the budget on the front burner. Ms. Jackson and Dr. Christina and I attended a meeting after our internal meeting with the Township Committee. At that meeting, in virtual attendance, were also Senator Gopal and his staffers and his colleagues from the Assembly side, as well as a couple people, representatives from the governor's office. At that time, I shared with the people in attendance the constraints that we have having SDA buildings and not being able to sell them for a profit. I did share with them that we have received the bonding information that we had requested, and I gave them all of that information. I shared with them the district's tax levy in Neptune as compared to our neighbors in Wall and Ocean. And again, our tax levy, despite the heavy increase this year, is still below that. We are moving forward with considering the sale of 60 Neptune Boulevard, which is central office. Our next steps would be to take a look at that appraisal, to move forward with a demographic study to make sure that we're not doing something that in the future will come back to harm our students. We're looking at all areas of negotiations, although we can't publicize those, any kind of cost savings that we can come up with. We're looking at the possible purchase of a small 15-passenger bus to alleviate some of the transportation of our small sports teams. And there are other negotiation or research items that we will continue to consider. I will be sending out invitations to community leaders to join us in that discussion. I will send those invitations sometime in December, and we will meet on sometime mid-January. Thank you, Madam President, and happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thank you, Dr. Crater. Ms. Jones, can you move our minutes, please?
7.
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the work session of October 27, 2025, and regular meeting of October 29, 2025. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Jones, seconded by Vice President Thompson. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Perrier.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you. And as a reminder, board members, can we project? We don't have working microphones. Oftentimes, it may appear to members of our audience, the Board of Education takes action with very little comment, and in many cases by unanimous vote. Before a matter is placed on an agenda at a public meeting, administration has thoroughly reviewed the matter with the superintendent of schools. If the superintendent of schools is satisfied that the matter is ready to be presented to members of the Board of Education, it is then referred to the appropriate board committee. The members of the board committee work with administration and the superintendent to assure the members fully understand the matter. When the committee is satisfied with the matter, it is presented to the Board of Education for discussion before any final action is taken. Only then is it placed on an agenda for action at a public meeting. All personnel motions are the recommendation of the superintendent. All agenda postings are available for public review. In rare instances, matters are presented to the Board of Education for discussion at the same meeting that final action may be taken. Time will be allotted now for public comment. Each speaker will be given a maximum of 3 minutes when recognized by the presiding officer. Individuals wishing to address the board shall be recognized by the presiding officer and shall give their names, addresses, and the group, if any, that they represent. Although the board encourages public participation, it reserves the right, through its presiding officer, to terminate remarks to and/or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. The board will not respond to questions during the public participation portion of this meeting involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion or disciplining of any specific, prospective, or current employee. The floor is now open for public comment. If you would like to comment, please come forward.
Hi, good evening. My name is Paul Owens. I live on 21 Atlantic Avenue, Ocean Grove. I just have 2 questions. One is a real easy one, just clarification on the school funding formula, how the public can get that again?
If you can get it, I'd like you to share it with me.
I thought you said there was somebody.
No, the school funding formula is a funding formula that was passed a while ago. I want to say 2008. And it determines how schools receive state aid. The report I mentioned is a report from an outsider, a researcher named Bruce Baker, very well respected in the industry, a college professor, does a lot of research on statistics of the impact of the school funding formula, especially in those areas of high need. So that's the report I mentioned.
Okay.
There seems to be a secret sauce school funding aspect.
Thank you. My other question was just in regard to the consultant that was going to be hired. If you could tell me, if you had this consultant statement of work, cost of hiring, deliverables, and a target date.
So that is an area that we are discussing in terms of staffing. I can't be too public about that because it does impact negotiations. I will say we did seek a quote from a consultant and that quote came in too high. We're not willing to pay that amount of money. So we're researching that, how to get at that information.
Could you tell us what the question you want the consultant to answer is?
I cannot. I cannot legally share that because it impacts negotiations.
Okay. Is there a target date or, is there an idea that the consultant needs to get finished within a certain?
Everything that we need to do for next year's budget needs to be finished about March of 2026. So long-term, what we're talking about now is short-term plan and long-term plan. That consultant would be the long-term plan.
Oh, okay, so not for March 26.
Could be, but we'll see how fast that comes around.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry to be so evasive.
No, I got it. Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Hi, good evening. My name is Eric Meyer. I reside at 8 Olive Street, Neptune, New Jersey, 07753. So I just wanted to ask about that meeting you had recently with, you said it briefly, but because I know millions were cut from the state that used to be given. What did they say? Do you mind elaborating a little bit more on that? Just because seems to be quite a lot of issues with the finances, but that seems to be one of the main ones that since they took that away, that's why we're all kind of getting screwed.
Yeah, the gist of the meeting was really my helping the people in attendance understand the limitations of what we can do in terms of selling a building, reconfiguring a building, staffing. And then there was a part of the discussion where we talked about the potential for shared services. We are always open to that. And we also appealed to the state legislators to work with the Department of Education to revise and reform the school funding formula.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I think it would be great if the pressure is kept on the state too, because if they were giving you all these millions of dollars and then just took that away, I mean, if there would be some way to convince them to reinstate that or do something just so that funds can be as they used to be and the taxes weren't made so out of control.
Senator Gopal is the head of the Senate Education Committee. We gave him some information to use, and I sent him also a copy of that report that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, all right. And then as far as this budget task force or this consultant you might be hiring, is there any way for members of the public to talk to them or just get a sense of what is being done in a local way?
So we
try to face or
budget task force right now is my administrative team, right?
Okay.
We are doing the research. We know how the schools work. We will invite community leaders at some point, but we need to make sure that committee is manageable, and we will report out on the findings of that committee at some point.
Okay, all right. And then, I know you mentioned a bus, a small bus being to maybe save some costs, but are there any specific ways you're also looking to cut costs?
Yeah.
Help us.
Been cutting costs. So, and I don't want to get into this again tonight because I've done countless forums on this. We've cut 100 positions in the last 6 years. We've cut programs. We've cut an entire environmental program. We've cut access to things for our kids. We've cut some sports. We've cut a lot. And some of the things that we are considering, again, are the sale of central office, right? We have to confirm where we can house those funds once we sell it, if we can sell it. But when I mentioned the small bus, some of these items are small monetary items, but you have to cobble them together to get somewhere.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
I know I'm out of time, but if there's, of course, we're open for a lot more than just a bus, obviously, a lot to help this situation.
It is that there's not a whole lot of low-hanging fruit. So we're looking at ways that we can be creative, share services, look at home instruction, how that's delivered, all the
All
programs.
right, good to hear. All right, I'm glad to hear something.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else who would like to come forward?
I'm March Muller, 338 Glenmere Avenue. As a concerned property owner in Shark River Hills, I urge the board to explore every available option to lower the tax levy, rather than simply maintaining the current 2% tax for the oncoming year. Increasing number for sale signs coming up throughout our neighborhoods and the extent the times are remaining on the market is a clear indicator this tax burden is creating, this high tax burden is really creating a burden on our community. Our district needs to figure out ways where we can cut the things and lower this property tax. Our district currently maintains more school buildings than our student population requires. It is essential to consider selling some of these properties and using the proceeds to pay off the bond debt, which constitutes about a quarter of the tax levy. Although our facilities are high quality, there is little evidence to suggest that they are improving academic outcomes. In fact, our disappointing math and English scores highlight that simply having excellent buildings does not translate into student success. Another important consideration is district consolidation. The current model where each small town operates its own district, complete with a superintendent, administrative staff, is inefficient. For example, in the state of Maryland, operates a countywide school district. My daughter is a teacher down in Maryland. If the state of Maryland, each county in Maryland has a countywide school district. They have one superintendent and one administrative staff for the entire county. Hartford County, where my daughter works, has about 44,000 students. They operate 10 high schools, 9 middle schools, and 34 elementary schools under one superintendent. This consolidation allows the district to get lower healthcare costs, which I know you've brought up has been raising their things, since I have a larger group. If we consolidated, we could get a larger group and get a better rate on your healthcare costs. This centralized approach allows the district to make informed decisions, such as adjusting school boundaries for class sizes to balance enrollment and closing schools when necessary. We should adopt a similar strategy. Thank you.
So we thank you for your comment. A lot of the issues that you've already raised, they've been addressed at prior meetings. So we invite you to go and watch our YouTube channel where Dr. Crater and I address, I think, every issue that you brought up. But we do thank you.
Yeah, but I know you have talked about it consolidating with just Neptune City or some of the other ones, but we need to look a little bit farther than just the ones right next to us. You know, if we can consolidate with some of the school districts that are not having some of the problems when we had, we would do a lot better. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to comment? Feel free to come up. Anyone else? Okay, public comment is now closed. Vice President, I was going to use my outside voice.
Me too.
Vice President Thompson, can you move our superintendent's report?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under Superintendent's Report as per document A, items 1 through 8. So moved.
Second. It's been moved by Vice President Thompson, seconded by Ms. Puryear. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye for all items, abstain number 8.
Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. West, can you move our finance items, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Let it be resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under finance per document B1, items 1 through 8. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. West, seconded by Vice President Thompson. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Harris, can you move our transportation item, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under transportation as per document B3, item 1. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Harris, seconded by Vice President Thompson. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Puryear.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you. Ms. Puryear, can you move our education special projects item, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under education, special projects as per document C1, item 1. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Puryear, seconded by Mr. West. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Prier.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Hoffman, can you move our special education items, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under special education as per document C2, items 1 through 2. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Hoffman, seconded by Ms. Harris. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Prier.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. West, can you move our student activities items, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Let it be resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under student activities as per document C3, items 1 through 16. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. West, seconded by Ms. Puryear. Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Prier.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye for items 1 through 7, abstain for items 8 through 16.
Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Morgan, can you move our personnel items, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under personnel as per document D1, items 1 through 24. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Ms. Jones. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Prier.
Abstain.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Okay, aye for everything except for 5, 6, 15, and 17. Abstain for those.
5, 6.
5, 6, 15, and 17. I'm abstaining on those.
Got that. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay. And Ms. Jones, can you move our negotiation item, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under negotiations as per document D2, items 1. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Jones, seconded by Mr. West. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Prier.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Hoffman, can you move our schedule of meetings, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve items recommended by the superintendent under schedule of meetings. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Hoffman, seconded by Ms. Puryear. Board members, any questions? Brittany, roll call, please.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Ms. Hoffman.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Morgan.
Aye.
Ms. Prier.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Aye.
Ms. Jackson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Thank you. I do not believe there's any old or new board business to come before the board. So we wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving season. And we remind you that our meetings in December are December 15th and December 17th because of the December holidays. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice President Thompson, seconded by Ms. Jones. All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? All right, the motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.